Welcome to another exciting episode of the Insurance Untangled Podcast. My name is Ben Tuine, and I'm one of your co-hosts of this podcast that's dedicated to helping practices that are tangled up with insurance. We talk about topics that help you take more control and create bigger and better and a brighter future for you, your patients, and of course, all of your team members. Today, my guest is my trusty colleague and neighbor, Jordan Comstock, and we'll be talking about the 7 ways to grow your dental membership plan. First, my co-host, Naren, great to be with you. Then also Jordan.
What's up, neighbor?
Nice to be with you all today.
Hey, Jordan. Hey, Ben.
Well, Naren, when are you going to move over to our neighborhood?
I know. It's like everybody that I know who's cool is in Utah.
Yeah, we're disguised. We have a lot of anger, right? People think we're cool, but we're always angry all the time, right, Jordan?
Is that what it is? Yeah, I guess. When it comes to insurance, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of,
it comes to that, yes.
Speaking of Utah, I'm doing a trip, I think, in October. So we'll be
cool.
Me and a few other guys and some llamas. So it's going to be like up the mountains.
Well, come up. There's houses available in our neighborhood, Naren. Dead serious. Just move out of Canada and come over to Utah.
Yeah, just bring a couple of those llamas. I'll fire up the grill. Have a good time.
Is that even good? I don't even know if is that good? Have you had a llama? Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I don't think I ever had. So I don't know if I'm insulting anybody.
We are not eating the llama, guys. We are using it for transportation, like carrying all this stuff.
You're using it for transportation. Okay. You're not eating. You're not having a llama barbecue. Okay.
When I think of animals, just in my culture, it's about eating them. My apologies. We're going to take some llamas and there's a different purpose.
We have a spigot in the backyard. That's funny.
That's just me being uncultured and not understanding other people's backgrounds and what they use animals
What part of Utah are you headed to, Naren?
I'm not, I know it's those red mountains, but I'm not sure exactly. Ooh. I'm sure like
Moab, St. George.
Zion? Yeah, I think so. I have to find out, but I had somebody else organizing it. I'm just going in for the fun.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Maybe I'll meet you down there.
Yeah, it's like we're camping, I think, overnight and like for 4 or 5 days. So it's gonna be like a pretty nice experience.
I'll show up in my motorhome, so I don't have to do much.
Well, awesome. Well, Jordan, thanks for being willing to impart some of your knowledge with us today on the podcast. We're going to be talking about these 7 different ways to grow a membership plan. The first question I have is, regarding the benefits of growing a membership plan, which is internal marketing. So how can a practice grow their membership plan using their existing patients to get there?
Yeah. So, one of the biggest issues I see first, Ben, is a lot of practices, like the idea of a membership plan in their practice. But the biggest issue is, and I've seen this for years, is they just don't know how to promote and market and grow it. Right. But when you do that, some of the benefits are amazing. You increase your recurring revenue, you increase your patient loyalty, and have a mechanism to help expand revenue from your patients that become loyal patients, right, by joining the membership plan. So there's a lot of benefits. Long-term benefit, you start increasing the value of your practice for a potential sale, right? So those are some of the benefits. But the first thing that I always recommend when it comes to growing a dental membership program in your practice, you want to start with internal marketing, right? The low-hanging fruit. What patients are inactive or uninsured within the practice. That's where I always tell practices to start, because they already have a relationship with you and your team, and you can get them to join your membership program a lot easier, right? Where some practices will come to me and say, well, I don't want to invite any of my existing patients. I only want new patients. And I think the magic happens when you do both, right? Mm-hmm. And when you talk to both new and existing patients. So new patients coming in, whether they find you through some of the marketing the marketing strategies we'll be talking about on the show today. But that's the biggest problem when a practice, number one, doesn't talk to their existing patients about their membership plan, especially after they launched it.
Mhm.
We've seen practices when they talk to all their patients about it and have signage and like brochures in their office. I've seen practices grow to a few hundred to 1,000 plus active patients in 12 months, right? But you got to be consistent with it. So start with your existing uninsured and inactive patients, meaning talking and educating them.
That's awesome. I think that's wise. Low-hanging fruit, starting with the people that trust you the most, right? Getting them.
Yeah, that's the easiest. I mean, during COVID, I remember a practice that signed up in California, and they grew up their membership plan like in a month to like a little over 200 active membership patients just by talking and educating their patients, their existing patients, right? And then they reached phase 2, which is external marketing, right? And there's a lot of ways to attract, patients that aren't, or potential patients that aren't with your practice, right? And SEO, for example, is one of the best investments for your marketing to attract new patients, right? And Aaron, you know all about this. I am no SEO expert. I like it. I've done a lot of it in the past, but I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as you are. But SEO is a great because it's inbound marketing, and meaning patients are searching and looking for services that your office may have, and they're coming to you. And that's why I like SEO, is because it's inbound. It's attracting patients that are already searching and are in need of some type of dental care. And from there, you can educate them about your membership plan and how they can save, right? Because a large, Naren, have you ever targeted like specifically uninsured patients through SEO campaigns? I know you get probably a variety of patients coming through an SEO campaign, but have you ever targeted that? Just curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Typically the thing is, like you said, the big issue is most practices and especially most patients don't know that this is an option for them. Like the
Sure.
idea of a membership plan that's significantly cheaper than a dental plan and a lot better than a dental insurance plan. So one of the things I notice is, as far as SEO is concerned, people look for things they know. So they're not necessarily Googling membership plans. Instead,
Sure.
who these people are and what they're looking for. Like, for example, if somebody has an emergency, there's a good chance he or she is not with any insurance,
Uninsured.
is not seeing any practice on a regular basis, which is why they're having an emergency. So that's a huge group of people that many of our practices go after, and they are very lucrative. Once they come in, of course, you educate them, you get them on a routine where they come and see you every 6 months. And of course, what helps with that is a membership plan, because it's a flat monthly fee and it's all taken care of, and they don't need to be in pain anymore. So that's a huge bucket that we go after. And, emergency dentist, keywords like that, or, dentist open at night. So dentist open today, like
Interesting.
they want something quick. So they're putting those kind of words because they're in pain. And so how do I get rid of this? So it's all about that urgency.
I've done some campaigns in the past on and off, just to experiment on my own in regards to finding uninsured patients. And there's definitely a lot of patients searching that, say they don't have dental insurance, they're looking for a dentist near them, right?
Exactly.
Which is really interesting because I'm trying to pull up some stats here that I've looked in the past. I've seen the cool thing about SEO is you can either hyper focus or focus broadly, right?
Yeah.
At least from my knowledge of it. And we've seen millions of searches go through every month. Like dental care for seniors is a keyword that I've seen, I've come across.
Dental savings, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for savings.
Yeah. So you can target and experiment with certain keywords, but like, for example, dentist for seniors, most likely they've lost their dental insurance and they're looking for some type of benefit program, like a membership plan.
Mm-hmm.
Dental, like
for self-employed dental, because all these entire categories of jobs out there, right? All the gig economy workers and everybody else, they don't get benefits. I mean, that's almost like half the population. Like half the population does not have insurance, dental insurance.
Yeah, over
That's
half
interesting.
doesn't have, you know, that
Mhm.
continues to grow.
Uh,
But oh, go ahead, Naren. Sorry.
No, and also they do type in dental membership plans,
Yeah,
uh, affordable dentistry, all those kind of keywords.
Yep, affordable dentistry. Like I'm just kind of looking at a list that I have. Uh, full coverage dental plans, right? Things like that. Dental insurance for seniors or savings for seniors. There's a lot there's a lot of keyword research, which I know Naren, excuse me. You guys are able to help with and kind of identify some of the opportunity zones in regards to SEO keywords.
Right.
Which I think is really interesting. That's why I like SEO, because you can get so targeted and you can create content for those searches, and you can once you've created that content, it's out there and people find it, and that's how they find your practice and become, you get a stream of new leads. That's why I think SEO works, and it's really great for your practice. So that's like phase one of the external marketing side is SEO.
I would agree, because it's the lowest cost too. Like in the long term,
Yep.
it'll cost you the least compared to any other external marketing.
Well, and it's always, once you get, SEO working for you, it's always out there, right? For people to find, and you're not constantly having to, pay for that. Let's say you wrote an article or created a page about how to save dental care for a senior, and it matches up with some of the keywords that are being searched for in your area. That page will live on the internet as long as you pay your hosting bill, right, for your website. So that's why I like SEOs, because it will last a long time without costing more money month over month.
That's awesome. What about B2B?
Yeah, so business to business marketing is the process of reaching out to some small businesses in your local area to get them and their employees to sign up. For example, every one of my employees here at BoomCloud, when they join our company, they get access to Dr. Anderson from the Essential Dentist down the street here in Pleasant Grove, Utah. They get access to his membership plan that we designed as like a specific plan for the BoomCloud employees. It's an awesome plan for them. So a lot of small business owners are always trying to find ways to attract and retain talent. So you can work with, small businesses in your local area, and you can help them understand the benefits of offering a membership plan to their employees, and generate, a large amount of new patients and new membership type patients to your practice when you get a business to do that. We had a practice, I'm trying to remember where they were. I think they may have been in Texas. They went to a lot of the nice restaurants in the area because they knew a lot of the business owners, and they talked to the owners of the restaurants to get them to provide a membership plan for their employees, and they grew their membership plan like clockwork month over month because of that. So business to business marketing is a wonderful way to grow not only your practice but your membership plan. And if you think about it, I know even Gary Takis has a story of, I think he did a LinkedIn ad or something a while back, and he got a business down the street from him to call him up and talk about joining the membership plan. And the business owner wired him like $25K or whatever it was. I don't remember the details to pay for his employees' membership plans, right? For Gary's office, which is a great story. Now, Gary probably has a lot more details than I do, and that's just from my knowledge, hearing him tell that story years ago. But it's an excellent way to grow your membership program. I call it leveraged selling, where you talk to one business owner, say, and you get 10, 15, 20, 30 new patients because of the employee base, right? So I think it's a wonderful way to go about growing your practice and your membership plan.
I agree. I think I remember that story that Gary used to, did share once. I think,
Sure.
LinkedIn, and then going after businesses. So, for example, even his existing patients who are business owners, he would have a conversation about, hey, have you thought about offering this as a benefit? And a lot of people are struggling with retention. And, especially these small businesses, they cannot afford, the large insurance, premiums that.
Oh, and they're all shit.
Yeah, and the insurance companies ignore the small businesses. They go after the big accounts, right? With the good,
They
better
do.
deals. So it's a great way to retain people. So let's say you're running a printing shop or a restaurant, and you really need good people to stick with you. Great way to do that. And I think he mentioned, like, sometimes you would get 20 signups from a single employer because they have 20 employees. And some will say, well, I'll subsidize it, you pay half. So they don't even need to pay the whole thing. So,
you could do that as well. They could do that as well. Yeah. So, and that same rule goes, the same rule of targeting your existing patients that are business owners. That's a great rule to follow. Start with the relationships that you already have and see if you grow there, and then go external to the local, any local business in your area. Another tip on that is, I have found that networking is one of the best ways to get into the small business marketing world. Meaning, there's networking groups all across the country. Like I think it's is it BNI?
Yes,
BNI. I used to be a member of that, where there were dentists that would join that, and you can meet other business owners and other people that can refer you to other businesses that may be interested in joining your membership plan. So I think networking is a really important strategy when you're thinking of business to business marketing. So those are my tips there.
Awesome. What about, this is something that I'm keenly interested in. What about PPC ads and social ads, social media ads? Have you seen them work? Any
it just depends, right? I've seen practices have a lot of success with social media marketing in the past. Now, you're going to know that landscape more than I have, but a case study that I have in my back pocket, a practice used Facebook ads to identify 55 and up people in their community, and they targeted that type of demographic, and the messaging was no insurance, we can help you save type messaging. Mm-hmm. And they were able to generate quite the amount of membership patients off of those types of ads. I believe they ran those ads for maybe 6+ months, and they had just under 1,000 active membership patients. A combination of talking to their existing patients and the ads that they ran on Facebook, right? I've also seen some practices do some PPC targeting. I recommend just targeting some PPC keywords. When I say PPC, it's Google ads, right? They changed it to Google ads, right, Naren?
Yes.
PPC stands for pay-per-click ads, but they're Google ads, right? Google search ads. What I would utilize the search ads for is to identify, what people are searching for, and maybe do some test campaigns before you invest, a whole SEO campaign. That's just my advice. Naren, I know you probably are going to look at it.
I
from a higher level.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think the only thing with any kind of ad spend is, like, look at the return on investment. Like, how much are you spending? What are you getting from it? Because if it's working, keep doing more of it. Like, there's no limit to it. But if it's not, then don't waste your money. I think the mistake practices make is they don't look at the ROI. So they could easily, go down that road. That's like a slippery slope, as opposed to, a road to prosperity. So,
well, and if you think about it, with any type of marketing or advertising, you want to have some type of sales or marketing funnel that allows you to track every step, from clicking onto the ad to opting into something, right? On your website, maybe it's signing up for the membership plan or requesting more information about it, right? Becoming a lead, and then eventually getting the patient to sign up, and having a way to track that and the ROI. So let's say you've spent, $100 on clicks, which that's probably cheap these days. And it brought in, 10 membership plan patients that paid, $30 each, right? You can reverse engineer the math on that and look at your ROIs, at least the beginning of your ROIs, because then those patients are going to get treatment, which help, pay for the marketing. So that's kind of how I would look at it. Make sure if you're going to set it up, you have some type of marketing funnel that you're able to track on. I know, Naren, you probably can, your team can probably help with that for most of the practices out there. I just think it's super important to track everything and know what's working, what's not working, so you can cut it or scale it.
Exactly.
So there you go. Those are my 2 cents on that type of marketing.
Very good. What about text and email marketing, Jordan?
Yeah, so text and email marketing are one of my favorites, because most practices have like a Weave software or a Revenue Well type tool that they're using, or even Boom Cloud, right? We integrate into practice management software to identify like the uninsured and the inactive, and allow you to just simply send out a text or email campaign out to those patients. That's the easiest way to grow your membership program, because you're starting with your existing, but you're also getting the word out a lot faster. Some practices like to wait for the uninsured patients to come back into the office and then they talk to them about the membership plan. But why I think texting, specifically texting, works so well is because you can text a patient today and maybe they're not even scheduled to come into your practice, and they end up showing interest in joining the membership plan before they've even had an appointment, right?
Mm.
So a lot of the times, if you're going to do a text campaign, always have at least one call to action, right? When our practices, are focused on growing their membership program, they're sending a text out and educating the patient on the why and the benefits of joining their membership plan. They may say something like, "Hey, Ben, we just launched a new way to help you save at the office. We know that you don't have dental insurance, and we want to make sure that you are covered and you have access to the quality dentistry," right? Something like that. And then they send them a link to look at and join their membership plan, right? So when I say look at, it sends them to a landing page that educates the patient on what it is, what they get, and then allows them to sign up on that landing page. That's critical when you're growing membership plans. If you just say, "Yeah, we got this, call us," I think calling is great, right? But I would do both, call and learn on your own, right? Because the beautiful thing about the internet today is you can set up a landing page and educate your patients about anything, have implants, about all-on-4 dentures, whatever it may be, membership plans, and allow them to schedule on the spot or sign up on the spot for a membership plan in this case, right? So I think it's really important to utilize the technology that you may already have, texting and email, right, to get the word out. So that's how we use it, and we see the best best results off of texting your existing uninsured and even inactive. Most of the time, patients they become inactive because they've lost their dental insurance, or they may be afraid of the cost of dentistry. They're like, "I don't want to go," right? So that's typically what we see out there.
Thank you for that, Ben. I was going to ask you, I know direct marketing, like that's physically mailing something. That's a direct mail marketing. I know sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In your experience, what are some of the tips you can share to kind of perhaps create a direct mail campaign that works?
Yeah. So let's go back to what I said earlier. You got to track everything in marketing, whether it's direct mail or SEO, right? So you need to know your numbers and have a method to track, right? Whether it's like on a direct mail marketing piece, putting a QR code and know that it came through that, some type of tracking. If you're not tracking it, you're gonna just fly blind, right?
Maybe even
and
like
that's
a
not
separate
cool.
call tracking number, so you can
Yeah,
track
that
the
too.
number of calls. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I would highly recommend that. But one practice that I know that has had success with membership plan or with direct mail marketing, they once again they targeted the 55 and up communities in their area, right, where they knew that most likely those patients have lost their dental benefits because they're retired, right? And they knew that demographic also needed more dental care. So as they aged, right? So this particular practice that I'm talking about was they were able to grow their membership program to, I think, just under 2,000 active, or I think it was like 1,500 active membership patients that came through specifically through direct mail targeting 55 and up communities, right? Where they sent a postcard out and said, "Hey, we can help you save on dental care. this is what you get when you join our membership plan, right? And here are the benefits of why, and this is why you need it. And same thing, they had a QR code that the patient could scan, or a website or a phone number, right, that they could go to get more information on their membership plan, and either request more information via email or a call, or sign up right from the website, right? So that's how I would do it if I were to do a direct mail mail marketing campaign today, is making sure I have multiple ways to track and multiple ways to get the patient to get more information. So I think they work, but as with anything in marketing, always track and cut what's not working, or A/B test it, meaning well, I'll let the marketing guys do the A/B testing. If I were a dentist, I wouldn't try to hone that skill set. Let the marketing gurus do that.
Very good. So finally, Jordan, what are some mistakes practices make when trying to grow a membership plan?
Yeah. So the biggest mistake would be just not talking to their patients about it. They launch it, they're excited about it, but they just talk about it internally, right? Meaning within the team. Yeah, we got this membership plan, but we're not talking to the patients. One of the biggest problems I see out there, it sounds so stupid, but it happens all the time, where a practice launches it and they just don't talk to their patients about it. If you utilize our software, we actually send you a starter kit or a marketing kit, where we give you like magnets that button magnets that go into the scrubs that say, ask how you can save by joining our membership plan, stuff like that. Little things like that to get the patient to ask, right? This is how boring I am, Ben and Naren. I went and sat in an office for a couple hours in the waiting room, and I just watched patients interact with the office staff. And I found that the practice that was growing their membership plan really well had signage, and this is so simple. They had signage everywhere in every operatory, like 3 or 4 in the front office, that said, ask how you can save by joining our membership plan. And the last sign was on the checkout desk, and like clockwork, everyone asked, hey, how can I save? What is this? And they would give a piece of paper to the patient that explained all the benefits. It was like the staff member didn't have to remember a certain script. They just said, hey, yeah, this is it. Read over the benefits and why you should sign up. And like clockwork, I saw patients signing up, right? So just communicating is so critical, and most practices don't do that. That's probably the biggest thing that I see, the mistake. And then not tracking their marketing is another one that I see all the time, is they just do campaigns and they think it works, or they think it doesn't work, but tracking your marketing is really important. But I would say those are the 2 biggest mistakes when it comes to marketing or growing a membership program. And then the other mistake I see is creating your membership program in a silo without your team, and then thinking it's going to grow, right? Not getting your team involved, right? So let's say, I see this all the time too. The practice owner is really passionate and excited to launch a membership plan, but he or she doesn't get his team members involved that are going to take it to the market, right? They create their plan by themselves. They don't talk about how they're going to go to market or launch their membership plan. They just hope, Susan at the front desk, gets it and is going to do everything to launch it, right? And it doesn't include her in any of the planning. That happens so much, where it's like, why do you really think that's going to work? Your team can't read your mind. You got to sit down and have strategy meetings with them. So that's another reason why membership programs don't grow, is that you're not getting your team involved. So those are my tips there.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I learned a lot. But I also want to, perhaps, there's a lot of people taking a lot of notes, and I know you have this amazing ebook. Can you talk about that, and perhaps you can share it with our listeners today, Jordan?
Yeah. So we have a super amazing ebook. No, it's a simple ebook. It just goes in more depth about growing $1 million membership plan. So I walk through a case study of a practice that has grown their program to a little over $1 million in annual recurring revenue, which is just incredible, right? So I've done several interviews actually with this particular practice that I wrote the ebook on. And they talk a lot about, the do's and don'ts of marketing and what's worked for them, what hasn't. So it's a great book. Go to boomcloudapps.com. We have a free ebook section on the menu of our website, and you can find the $1 Million Membership Plan ebook that goes in more depth on how to truly grow a membership program. And we're getting the information from practices that have actually done that. It's just not made up. It's strategies that they've done to generate $1 million in annual recurring revenue.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I also want to take a minute to thank Ben, my dear co-host. And I also want to take a minute to thank our listeners from around the country and every state in the United States. We cannot do what we do without you. So if you do like this podcast and if you learned something from it, please share it with your friends. Post it on Facebook groups, post it on Instagram, post it on, forward it to your friends through email. We really appreciate that. Also, if you don't mind, also write a review for us. You can do that on iTunes or Google Play. Till we meet again, have an amazing, rocking week ahead. Thank you. And this is Naren.